Alright guys, so today we're going to take a look at the brand new Bose Sport Truly Wireless Earbuds. Now this has been a pair that a lot of you guys have been requesting, and I've actually been anxious to get my hands on them because I was a huge fan of their other sport earbuds that actually had the little cable behind your neck. But these do come in retailing at $180, and that kind of puts them up against some really impressive competition. So I wanted to see what it is that they had to stand out and see if it's actually worth the $180 price tag. So to start with, these are available in 3 different colors. They're available in a black, a blue, and a glacier white, which is the version that I have here. And they're made more for an active lifestyle. Now, obviously, you can use it as your normal day-to-day earbud, but if you are going to be somebody that's out, playing basketball or going to the gym or running, they're kind of made to stay in your ears a little bit better, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Now, there is an app that you can use with these earbuds. It is a little light on the features because there's no built-in EQ settings, or you can't EQ them yourself. You can't really alter any of the controls, which are very limited on these earbuds. You can do things like change the touch sensors and maybe the smart function, but again, it's very limited, and there's not really a whole lot of reason to download the app. Now, they do have Bluetooth 5.1, they have AAC and SBC playback, and I didn't notice any kind of lag with watching movies or videos, so it has a very solid, stable connection. Now, as far as the IP rating, they do come in rated at IPX4, and I do feel like a pair that's made for being active. I think IPX4 is a little on the low end, so it's going to be fun if you sweat or if it starts to rain, but this is definitely not a pair that you could submerge into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, you are getting a small, medium, and large silicone ear tip, and each one of them have the wing tips attached to it, and that is what allows the earbuds to stay in your ear because these are designed a little bit differently than most other earbuds. Now, as far as the charging cable, they've included a USB-C cable. Speaking of the charging cable, I feel like the battery life is also a little on the low end as well, because you're going to get 5 hours of battery life on the earbuds themselves, where you're going to get around 15 hours total using the case. Now, they do have a fast charge feature where a 15-minute charge will get you 2 hours of use. Now, one of the downsides to this, especially given the price, is the case is not a Qi wireless charging case. And on top of that, the case is fairly large. So it is going to take up quite a bit of room in your pocket. But if you're going to throw it into a gym bag, it's not going to be that big a deal. Now, on the back side of the case, you can see your USB-C input for charging, and then around on the front, you have 5 indicator lights so that you can kind of gauge how much battery life is on the case. And then there's also a push button, which is what releases the lid. So it's not one of those that you can just pull open the lid. You actually have to push that button. Now, moving over to looking at the earbuds, it kind of just rolls right in the theme with the case, where it is very large. They just look big in anybody's ears. I don't know why Bose designs their earbuds this way. It's not going to bother a lot of people, but I do notice there's a lot of people that do not like the larger earbuds. Now, they do use touch controls, but I am going to say that I feel like the controls are very limited on these because there are no volume controls, and you can't go back to the previous track. And I'm not really sure why a lot of companies are doing this. This is obviously something that they can fix in a firmware update, but as of right now, all you can do is play and pause your track and skip forward. And really, that's it. There's no noise canceling, there's no awareness mode, although I found these to be extremely weird, where it sounded like the microphones were always channeling in my outside surroundings. It just felt like everything around me was just elevated. So if I was typing on my keyboard, it came through the earbuds very loudly. If I was walking down the hall, anything that was going on, it always felt like I could hear it pretty clearly in my earbuds, which I found to be extremely strange considering these don't have an awareness mode. Now, another thing about these that I've also found a little strange is for you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, the only one that you can do that with is the right earbud. In fact, the right earbud is the only one with the sensor, so if you take your earbud out, it will automatically pause, and then it will resume when you put them back in. But I also experienced some issues with the sensors where I would take it out, the music would stop playing out of the earbud, but I would look at my phone and see that the music is actually still playing. And I also noticed when I had both earbuds in, I would take the right earbud out and it would stop playing out of the right earbud, but it would still play in the left earbud. So I don't know know that it's actually working fully right out of the box. So again, maybe that's something they can fix in a later update. Now, as far as the microphones on here, this is definitely something I think Bose did a very good job with. I felt like it picked up my voice extremely well, and I felt like it did a really good job of trying to block out my surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
Alright guys, so here is a mic test using the Bose earbuds. I feel like it picks up everything very cleanly. I do feel like it's lacking in bass details, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
Alright, so now before I give my opinion on the sound, this is the part of the video where I like to play some samples. That way you guys can kind of gauge some of the characteristics on your own. So let's go ahead and check out some of the samples here.
Together, you and I, your touch sends chills down my spine.
So now that you guys have heard some of the samples, I want to be able to give my opinion on what I think of the sound. I think overall the sound is very good. It's very clean. It does have a little bit of warmth to it. And the one thing that I felt like it was lacking at most time is the bass. I felt like the bass did have a quick punch to it, but it lacks that subwoofer type feel. So depending on what genres you like to listen to, if you like to listen to a lot of pop and hip hop, you may feel like the bass is lacking, which is one reason I wish that the app had EQ controls. That way, if you wanted to dial it up a little bit, you could, but you only can listen to it the way Bose wants you to listen to it, which in my opinion is pulling back the bass and pushing the mids and treble forward. Where there is a lot of details, you can always hear vocalists extremely fine. In fact, I loved the way that vocalists sounded on these. I love the detail that the treble brought out, but the bass lacking just kind of pulled some characteristics out of songs that I usually like to hear. Now, as far as the sound stage and the sound imaging, these do a very good job of feeling open. They also do an extremely good job of being able to tell where sounds are coming from, so I have no complaints when it comes to that. But some complaints that I do have, and I think Bose definitely should look into fixing, they definitely need to fix the controls on these. It's very limited, and I don't like to summon my smart assistant to get my earbuds to do what I want them to do. I don't like the fact that the case and the earbuds themselves are fairly large. I don't like that the case does not have Qi wireless charging. They really do need an EQ option within their app. And I think that there's so much competition in this price range because you have these Sony SP800s, you have the Sennheiser CX400s, you have the One More ANCs, which have active noise canceling. There's a lot of earbuds in this price range that have active noise canceling, and Bose is not really offering a whole lot to make it stand out in this price range. But overall, I think it is a very good sounding earbud. I do feel like it lacks in bass, which I'm a huge fan of. If bass is not your main focus when you listen to earbuds, you're going to be completely happy with them because they are very good with details. They do have an open feel to them. But again, I don't know if that's the microphone also channeling in your outside surroundings, which usually will make music sound a little more open. But it's not something I was a huge fan of. I feel like the $179 price tag is a lot to ask, especially given the competition that's out there right now. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Bose Sport earbuds. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.